Hey there, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of GENT Chat. Boy, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Today, I am joined by a man who approached me and said, I throw the best nerdy parties ever. And I was kind of like, alright, dude, whatever. And then he showed me a video. He showed me drone footage of him standing next to Stan Lee, and as the drone pulled back, it turns out this rager was happening at Iron Man's house in California. And then I was like, okay, you really do throw the best nerdy parties in the world. That is a true fact. Okay, so everyone, thank you to Bernie for joining us today from Nerds Like Us.
My pleasure. How's it going, everybody? My stage name is the Geek, GATSBY, and I've been running Nerds Like Us events for about 8 years now. This is something that started, I produced the Rocky Horror Convention, the 35th anniversary convention, and then started doing midnight movie screenings in Hollywood, bringing back 80s and 90s kind of nostalgia classics. Stuff that we all love: Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Hocus Pocus, Hook, Real Genius, Beetlejuice, that kind of stuff. And then it really kind of took off from there. If you think about a classic party experience, a generic party experience like Hollywood or something like that, and you insert nerds into it, nerds are probably going to be on the corner on their telephone updating their Facebook or something because they're not having a good time, because there's not people like them. It's not that they don't like the party, it's not that they can't dance, it's not any of those things. It's that the environment isn't comfortable. It's not people like them that make them comfortable, make them able to open up and let loose. And that's where I want to come in. So I create environments that are kind of geek safe, and places that you're going to see a lot of people that you've seen on the internet, or that you actually know from real human interaction, something that gets lost these days, something that's catered to you. The entertainment's catered to you, the type of person that we market to is catered to you. If other people come in and they want to be a part of it, look, I am all about being exclusively inclusive. I want everyone to come and have a good time. As our world evolves, as nerd culture blends into pop culture and becomes mainstream, a lot of avenues have opened up for nerds like us. And that's really kind of why I went with that title, because I wanted everything that I do to be about community, about nerds that are similar to you and me. If you look at the landscape today, the biggest box office films are all nerd culture properties. We have, 100,000 person plus conventions all over the globe. We have clothing lines now. It's not just t-shirts at Hot Topic, though, God bless Hot Topic for being a torchbearer for us. But it's expanded beyond that. There's all these different lines now. You got all these different, 1138 clothing and Muster Brand, and oh gosh, I'm forgetting those guys that make the great Assassin's Creed looking stuff.
There's Volant?
Volanti Designs. Yes, they're amazing. Elhofer, Castle Corsetry, all this stuff. We're really mainstreaming everything that we do, and why not mainstream, nightclubs and parties? And we deserve to party too. And if you mentioned the Stan Lee birthday party, that was a Legion M event that we were hired to come in and produce. And it was magnificent. It was Stan Lee's birthday, celebrating 95 years of an incredible life. The godfather of modern mythology. And it was an honor to be able to put that together. We rented the Stark Mansion. It's actually the Electric Courthouse that was owned by Megan Ellison, who's Larry Ellison's daughter of Oracle. And she's a producer as well in Hollywood. That's the house that was mapped for Stark's Mansion. For those of you that drive up and down PCH looking for Stark Mansion in Malibu, it doesn't exist. That was all manufactured in Hollywood. But that's the house that it was based on. So what a perfect place to throw Stan's birthday party. We had all sorts of amazing celebrity tributes from Robert Downey and Ryan Reynolds and Chris Hemsworth and Peyton Reed and Tom Hiddleston. and a bunch of other people, Ian McKellen and some others. We had great performances from the library bards, the flux capacitors, and DJ Quickfeet, and it was a blast. We had an immersive Stan Lee Museum experience in the living room right when you walk in. We had art from famous celebrity artist Rob Pryor, and just all sorts of Dave & Buster's was a part of it. It was a really, really amazing time. I was already planning a San Diego Comic-Con after party at Basement Nightclub in San Diego. We had 700 people, packed the place out. Rufio, Dante Basco was our DJ. But when we first talked about doing things like that, I'm like, Dante, you know you have to DJ as Rufio, right? Like, and Zuko later, sure, but Rufio. Yeah. So I envisioned this modern DJ Rufio outfit that Chad Hatter designed, and it was incredible. But the thing that brought it all together, that was like the very first thing I thought of, I'm like, I'm gonna find someone that can make you an LED tri-hawk, like a light up Rufio Mohawk. And so Pixel Art Props and Miss Chrissy Lynn came together to make that combo with the electronics and the wig, and it was freaking awesome. And we have DJ Rufio. Around the calendar, my calendar is built around Halloween weekend. I do all the nightlife for Los Angeles Comic-Con, which is Stan Lee's convention. Yep. Club Comic-Con is going to be taking over the Globe Theater, which is a vaudeville theater that was built in 1913. Gorgeous, deco, beautiful interior, opera boxes that used to belong to Marilyn Monroe and Charlie Chaplin, but has been updated, modernized into a European-style nightclub with all the latest in lighting and sound tech. Damn Good Shindig took over the basement for us, and they're building an immersive Buffy the Vampire Slayer experience where you're going to walk into as if the Buffy villains, the demons, have taken over the bronze. Upstairs on the main stage, we've got a lot of great things. Great 90s tribute band, Hit Me 90s, because we're hitting that 90s Halloween vibe. DJ's Bubble Wrap and DJ Chuck Nunn. And then our featured DJ of the night, Bonafide Vampire, Jackson Rathbone of Twilight fame, Jasper. Jasper is going to be spinning on the decks for us. Yeah. That's gonna be a wicked good time. Hot Topic sponsoring that show. Yeah. It's gonna be magnificent. Here's Saturday. So we've been working on this for a while, but when I did the Stan Lee party and it was over and I was exhausted and I was thanking everyone, I said, but the funny thing is, this isn't gonna be my biggest show this year. And you think, how do you do bigger than that? Well, here's how you do bigger than that. So like I said, I built the after party programming for LA Comic Con 4 years ago. Our feature act has always been the Flux Capacitors. They've been amazing. Yeah. But this year we had a very awesome and unique opportunity and this is a free event, to bring everyone at Los Angeles Comic Con a free Black Eyed Peas concert.
What? In terms of genre.
Yes, I think so. And that's because ultimately, if you want to be successful on the business side of things, because there's the art and the business, right? And it's overall, it's about the art, but if it's not successful as a business, like, you can't devote time and energy to it, because eventually it takes away from, like, you know, being an adult and stuff. So it's riding that line. If it's too nerdy, then it's gonna turn off any, like, remember what I said about being inclusive, right? It comes back to this. I want to be inclusive of everyone. I don't care who you are, what you look like, what you do, what you believe in. If there's a part of you that's nerdy, I want you at my club. And so, you know, if you think about that, some people don't go all the way down the rabbit hole on one or any fandoms, right? So you can't go super immersive, because then you turn people off. So there's got to be something there for Star Wars, Star Trek, anime, Firefly, you know, whatever. Like all that DC, Marvel, yada yada. It's got to have a little something for everybody. And so you can't. I mean, you know, I'll deck the place out with like some fun symbols and things like that, some art, but it's not going to be, you know, too heavy to any one thing. And that's because it should be inclusive of all, and it also can't. You're not walking into a comic book store that is a nightclub. You know what I mean? You're walking into a nightclub that happens to be filled with a bunch of various nerdy related people, things, and acts.